Wicked for Good is the sequel to Wicked, which of course became a global phenomenon, which is based on the Broadway musical that as well is part of the culture. And I think now we definitely see Wicked has become truly more mainstream than ever before. And that's not to say that the Broadway musical wasn't a hit, because it surely was. But Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo have definitely injected so much life into the series and franchise. And I don't think this is the end. And we'll talk more about that in my spoiler video, which comes out today as well. So stay tuned for that. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Let's get into Wicked for Good and my thoughts on this. I saw this 2 days ago. I did a review yesterday. Had the mic on mute, so I got to redo it again. But honestly, that's the best thing that could happen, because I started to think more about the movie and now I have some more thoughts. Wicked for Good takes place 5 years after the first film, and it's a year gap between the last one we saw. And I think that's the best thing they could have done. If they took more of a gap, this definitely would be more of a film that feels jarring in my opinion, because it already does. I will get into the good stuff first. We'll talk a little bit about the bad, and then we'll bring it back together. So let's get into what I really loved about this film, and that is going to be Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande's performance as Elphaba and Galinda. I think that we really get a good sense that these two are superstars if we didn't get it from the first one, because they truly surpass what they do in that first film. Now, the film does fall flat in other areas, and I think that Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo really have to pick up the slack here for the rest of the film and hold it on their shoulders. And that's just a very hard task to ask for any actor here, but I think they do it so effortlessly, and that's just showcasing the raw talent that they really have. There is a moment here that's one of my favorites in both films, and that is going to be the No Good Deed musical sequence with Cynthia Erivo that I think is just spectacular. Everything that's happening here, from the visuals to the camera work, but definitely more so Cynthia's performance. The way she's able to belt these notes out and the performance she gives with her facial expression and her body language is just incredible to see. Honestly, this is my favorite sequence from both films, besides maybe Defying Gravity and For Good. This is just on another level and really showcases what a generational talent Erivo is. Now, that's not to say Galinda doesn't do great here, because I think this is truly Galinda's film. If Wicked was Elphaba's film, Wicked for Good is definitely Galinda's. Ariana Grande really gets an opportunity here to showcase her chops here, and not just singing, but acting. I think that she really delivers such a nuanced and complex performance for Galinda that makes this character have much more depth than the first film. I was kind of scared that Galinda would just sort of end Wicked for Good with just being the same Galinda we knew from the first one and not really given an opportunity to showcase more, but in this one you do get that from the beginning all the way to the very end. This is a movie that truly is Ariana Grande showcasing that she is a true star. Final power ballad duet at the end when it comes for Good is truly what makes this film feel whole and is the heart of the whole film, because if you didn't have that strong ending, I think this movie would truly fall apart when you think about it. But it is that performance that Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande give here that is so intimate, it is so delicate, it just touches your heart and your soul. Watching it on the big screen truly was feeling magic all around you, because it is just beautifully choreographed and edited that it just makes you transcend, honestly. And it is a farewell for these two here, but it is truly a farewell for everybody, the audience alike. And you felt it. Everybody was sniffling in that theater when it came to that finale, and I was just so moved by it, and I was just like, I need to rewatch both of them back to back, because I think that's how you get the full experience. Because now I'm getting into the nitty-gritty bad that I didn't really like about the film, and that's going to be this film feels rushed and slow at the same time, which is horrible to think, right? Because the movie does take a bit to find its footing when it's starting, and then it starts going, and then it decides to slow down with musical numbers that sort of feel elongated for no reason, where I feel like if they were just done right, it would definitely hit a lot more. Also, story beats and characters don't really get the emotional time that they need for us to really feel them. Specifically the side characters here, because I think there's a ton of side characters that really were front and center in the first one. And yes, this is not the Oz movie and all of that. This is a movie about Galinda and Elphaba, but I still feel that in the first film, they did a great job at really balancing that while still keeping those two at the forefront. Here, the characters are moved to the side into the shadows, and it's like, okay, get your little story out and then move out of the way. We got to move on to the next piece. And it feels like we're jumping, especially towards the second half and the final act. It feels like the movie's like a record player that's skipping. Like we're just skipping to the next part and we're in the next sequence, and then characters are acting so different from where they were before. And I'm just like, wait, how much time has passed? Because now I don't understand what's going on, because this character was so angry and now they're not. And this character is very sad and now they're happy. So, it kind of felt a little mismatched here. And I think that's just the problem with trying to split into two movies, where the first film really does a lot and it's trying to sort of establish and make sure we understand. In the second film, it's already just trying to finish and wrap up to the very end. And I think that's where you really get the problems with Wicked for Good, that the final moments just feel like a highlight reel of sorts, and you don't really get time to relish in these characters and what they're feeling to really drive you home, especially certain things that happen to characters. It's like they don't really get the time to process the emotions. So then when they're moving to the next part, you're just like, wait, shouldn't they be a little bit more feeling about what just happened? And it just makes it feel awkward. Specifically, Dorothy and Toto coming into the scene, it just kind of felt like that was too rushed in the way it was done. And yes, I know they are part of the musical and had to be in there. I feel like there was another way to do it where it just didn't feel awkward and shoehorned in. But that's just my opinion. I still really, like I said, love this film because I think the musical numbers are the glue that hold this film together. Everything else that happens in between the musical numbers can sort of feel a little bit like, what are they even doing here? But once that musical number comes in and Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande are just up there pouring their passion that they feel for this project, it is all forgotten and forgiven, honestly, in my opinion. But I can see some people being upset with it. Overall, I still think it's worth seeing on the biggest screen, loudest sound system possible, because it is just a movie you want to feel as well. And I can forgive all those things. And with Wicked, there's a lot of things I definitely think could have been changed. I think some of the writing, the pacing, as well as the cinematography could have been a little bit better. Like some of these scenes are lit in a way where you just really are looking at glare. And I don't know if that's an artistic approach or not, but it just did not work for me at all. But overall, the feelings were still there that it made me feel, and I still enjoyed it. So overall, check it out if you are a fan of the first one, if you're a fan of the Broadway musical, if you love Cynthia Erivo, Ariana Grande, or just musicals. This is definitely it, because they do a great job. It's like they put all their attention and focus on the musical sequences and everything else came second. That's how it feels. But overall, still, I will see it again next week. So I'll give you my more fleshed out thoughts then. Maybe I'll do a recap of sorts, but stay tuned for my spoiler talk tonight. Let me know what you thought about Wicked for Good in the comments below. We saw Marty Supreme last night, and I can't wait to talk about that. So stay tuned. Anyways, hit that subscribe and notification bell. 50,000 subscribers is our goal. I'll see all of you next time. Stay safe, stay positive.